Peace, 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 family. To everyone, I truly appreciate your presence here. To all the newcomers, thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here and share this space with us. And I truly appreciate it. Would you please be able to do me a favor and hit that like, touch that subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you could be notified of any forthcoming content that will be coming. Okay. All those who have been rocking with me for a minute, thank you very much for your presence, for your dedication, and your loyalty. It truly means a whole lot to me. It truly does. So today we are going to get into a powerful dialogue, and it is the power of past life regressions. And I just would like to introduce this fine lady. So she is a clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist. Okay, she does a plethora of things. I am going to definitely leave all of her information down into the description box. It could be clearing and understanding things about your past lives, about soul contracts, about clearing blockages. Just if you were to book a session with her, it's a lot of things that you can understand about yourself by doing a past life regression. And we're going to get into what all of that is and what are the services that she offers and provides. And I truly appreciate her presence here and her accepting my invitation. And I just would like to formally introduce Neoshi Hypno. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me again. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for joining me. It's truly a pleasure. I've seen so many of your videos and just so much of the content that you have produced, and it is truly amazing the things that you do. And I just want to know, like, for those who may feel like they're struggling in life and they really don't know exactly what pathway to take or what to, like how to better understand how they can better themselves or to clear a blockage. How can a past life regression help them or aid them in their journey here?
Well, I know most people know me for past life regression, but sessions include so much more than that. Um,
Okay.
we also do shadow work within my sessions. There's also this is basically like a lot of uh, any issue that might be derived from your present life. So a lot of times we'll go into sessions, and sometimes a lot of things from your present life will come up, whether it be things from childhood or even just issues from your adulthood that uh, might have affected. Um, we do a lot of work within that as well. So as far as how it can help in so many ways. As far as past life regression and how why I use that as a tool and how that's helpful is because sometimes past life situations carry over to your present life, and when they're unhealed or they're unrealized or unknown, it can affect your life uh, in the present. But when you go back um, to that life to understand what occurred in that life and what may have been carried over from that life because it was unhealed, um, then you're able to make the connection as to, okay, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to do differently? How do I need to move for now in this life so that I don't keep repeating the same pattern over and over again? And, basically creating a situation for myself that I don't necessarily need to do in this lifetime.
Okay. And a lot of that sometimes you can kind of identify it prior to doing a past life regression because it's kind of like some revisited trauma and triggers that may come up in your life currently that you could probably figure out where they came from and where they stem from, because some people they go back into their childhood trying to do shadow work and still can't really figure it out, but once they do the past life regression, then they'll pinpoint exactly like the root of the issue, and then they get to figure out like, okay, well, this is how I can truly remove this blockage. Is that a correct analysis?
Um, okay, I'll say it this way. Um, the root cause that you mentioned is not always found in a past life. Sometimes it's connected to a past life, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it'll be a situation from your present life, childhood, that was another situation that occurred as well in another life. Um, the purpose of showing you or going to a past life is to help you understand the cycle in a different way, to help you understand the importance of letting go whatever issue that might have been, whether it be anger, hate, any emotion or belief that you might have carried over, or just period, any emotion or belief that you might have dealt with from a trauma from your childhood or present life, the importance of how that it's affecting you, and then, of course, helping you release it. So, yeah, every past life that my clients go to, um, sometimes it's not, directly connected to an event that occurred in this life.
Mhm.
That makes sense, but it'll just be maybe something that a lesson or something of a theme that they need to be aware of, that they're experiencing in this life, that is affecting them in a certain way. So I hope that makes sense without confusing you. But it's not just based on past lives. Like I said, I use the tools from past lives to to assist with whatever other issues that might have been carried over. But sometimes some people, when they go through the sessions, they will hop through several different lives. It's not just one life. They'll go through and they might see one scene of this life and another scene of another life, another scene, and it'll have the same theme usually. And it's like Spirit just wanted to show them this theme. This is what is happening. And I always ask towards the end of the session, like there's a part in the session where we talk to your spirit guides, ancestors, higher self, whoever shows up, and we'll find out why were they shown that life, what's the important thing, what do they need to see in that life, why do they need to see it, um, you know what if any thing that they bring from that life into this life that's affecting them in this life now. So it's so much more than that. It really is a whole mind body spirit session.
Okay, that's beautiful. So it's not really linear like how I was thinking about it previously. It could come from um, a multifaceted place. Like it's really not pinpointed anywhere. You just have to, I guess, like do the work, book the session, and then just understand like the bigger picture. Like you were saying, seeing like why is this a reoccurrence or why it's just like a common theme throughout all of your lives, essentially, for you to be able to learn more about you, right? Just learn more about self.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty
Indeed.
much.
So also with that, um like I know she's put out before, like this isn't a magic show. She's
Mhm.
she's not a, she's not a magician. Um she doesn't do magic. This is not no spells or anything like this. And she's not using no crystal balls. Like this is, spirit led. This is actually like her gift with experience and practice and just doing what she do in such a wonderful fashion to where she can help people in ways that they never thought that they could have been helped by, you know, just allowing them to learn more about themselves. And I truly appreciate that. And I just want to let people know that like this is not what you may have think that it is. You just have to do the digging, do the research, and then come to her if you want to know more about self. So with that being said, I have a question. Do you feel like it's more women who contact you for past life regression than men? And if so, why?
um, I like that question. So yeah, there are more women that come to me, primarily Black women, women of color, who come to me. But there are a significant number of men too. But overall, I'd say maybe 90%, 95% are women.
Oh,
Um, why? The spirit has told me that I'm um, like even before I started this work, I've always known that my work would be with women. Um, and then at one point, Spirit led me and let me know that primarily your work will be with women of color. Um, so when to see that play out, was confirmation of like, okay, I see why they were preparing me in that way. But I think because at this time now that we're where we are right now, within humanity, in the consciousness that's present, where people are waking up more and more to who they are. I think that melanated people are becoming to be basically becoming more open outside of religion, and they're allowing themselves to experience or just accept more than what we've been told. And I think we feel more comfortable doing that with somebody who looks like us. And so I feel like part of my purpose and why the mission I was sent here to do was to serve in that role, to be able to assist those peoples with doing that. I feel like a lot of the people that, or I know a lot of people that I do sessions with, a lot of them are healers. Some of them are aware they're healers, some of them aren't aware. And part of my purpose is I remember that to help them um, on their journey as healers, and just to assist them with doing the work so that they can as well step into their healing capacity so that they can add on to the work that needs to be done as well.
Indeed. So when a person like book a session with you, I know you give them like prep work in order to be like readily open and available for the session. Now, after the session has concluded, what are some things that they can incorporate in conjunction with them going through that session to help them um, actually like clear those blockages now that they know what the blockages are, and they seen from a past life perspective of what they could be? What are some implementations they can utilize to actually do the work now to really clear it?
Okay, so as far as the blockages that you're referring to, how to clear them, if we find blockages of any sort within the session, I help them clear them within the session.
Right in there. Okay.
Um, After the session, or during the session, like I talked about, um, we connect with their guides, ancestors, higher self, whoever steps forward. And they're asked, they have a list of questions that they sent me ahead of time, 15 questions. And it could be anything from, uh, career, love, relationships, family, spirituality, health, financial, whatever, you name
Mhm.
it, any questions, right?
Mhm.
And we go through those questions. I ask the guides to get that guidance and clarity for them. Um, and they'll get their answers. They'll get their guidance. They'll get their clarity. They'll get the insight. They'll get the answers. So how do I handle this situation? How do I move forward? What do I need to do about this session? Should I do this? Should I not do this? They get those answers. At the end of that session, they walk away with what I call a whole damn cheat sheet, where they literally all you have to do is just follow the cheat sheet. You got the answers. You know what you need to do now. There's no more second guessing. There's no more doubting. There's no more, anything. You just follow the cheat sheet. You got the answer. So now do the work.
Mhm. Wow, that's amazing. It's all right there. It all is open, like the envelope is open right there throughout the session. So, wow, that's really amazing. So, getting guidance from your spirit guides. Say a person, they were unfamiliar to who their spirit guides were, and through your session they meet their spirit guides. How can they continue to build that relationship with their spirit guides afterwards? Like, how can they continue to build that connection or make that connection even stronger?
So that's a lot of the question. That's one of the questions that's more common that one of my clients or my clients will usually ask. How
Okay.
do they strengthen that connection? And sometimes they'll get different answers. Some might be told to go into meditation. Some might be told to fast. Some might be told. It just really depends on that particular person, where they are, the work that they've done, their gifts, if they are able to, connect in a certain way. Um, it just really depends, but it varies from person to person.
Okay. Okay. So, bringing up fasting, would fasting be um a good compliment prior to coming to a session with you in conjunction with all the other preparatory things that you do send? Like, would that be, okay.
And
Would
I
that
say
help you?
that's also a part of the prep where I talk about make sure you eat well, but you can eat light, but eat well. Um,
Okay.
I've had people come to the session and they show up talking about they fasted, and I didn't realize until after the session because they were drained, and either the guide was like, "We need to stop right now because they need water, they need food, they can't eat anything, and they can't continue. This is and it's because of the your energy can be drained during the session. My energy gets drained during the session. If the session, like my typical sessions, are about 3 hours. Um, and if um, we go any time past 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, I become physically, mentally drained. Um, to the point where I'll develop a headache. My client will experience the same thing. Um,
Mhm.
so there is sort of a burnout. So in order to go into these sessions to be able to hold up for 3 hours, I always say make sure you eat something. Don't come in here with just fasting. That's not gonna help you in the long run. You need to have some fuel to do what you're about to do.
Right. Wow. And that makes a lot of sense because even in some environments that I go into, it feels spiritually draining. You know, like I can't be here. I need to, remove myself. So I'm sure, like when you do go through, you know, a session with you, it can definitely take a toll on your energy and things of that nature. So I wanted to talk about like spirit and like energy attachments, and I know you face various people on a day-to-day basis. How do you like keep yourself guarded and protected always, like doing your work? Because I know you come in contact with a lot of, different spirits and entities and things of that nature. So how you keep yourself on point always?
So I always say my number one defense is me doing my own work, me keeping my vibration high, me releasing what doesn't serve me, me doing whatever work that I need to do for my own personal self. When I started on this journey, before I even began this work, I was doing that. I was doing shadow work before I even knew what shadow work was. The spirit led me to say, hey, you need to change this. This is work that you need to be done, that need to be done. I didn't know that it was in prep for me to do this work. Uh, I had no idea, but when I look back, Spirit showed me like this is why we were prepping. This is what we need you to do. And I look back and I imagine there's no way I'd be able to do the sessions. I'm sure you see the shit that I post on my channel, the different sessions and the nature of it. There's no way I'd be able to hold space like that and go through all of those situations if I hadn't done my own personal work. So that's my number one defense. It's just me doing my own work and keeping my vibration high. Because the only way these energies are able to attach to you is because you're vibrating on a frequency like theirs. When you have a low vibrational frequency, anything that is on that vibration, that frequency, could connect to you. It's just like being on a particular radio station. You're on one station, you're going to hear the music that's playing on that station, but if you're not going to pick up the music from another station because you're not on that station. It's a different frequency, right? You have to literally attune yourself into that different frequency. It's the same way. So, doing my personal work, keeping my vibrations high, which means for me sometimes, or a lot of times, or more recently, what I've learned to set boundaries, continuing the work that I know I need to do, especially in this work. You have a lot of people who are kind of reaching out to you. They want your services, they want to work with you, they want you to help them. And I have to set boundaries on
Mm-hmm.
who can access me, my energy, and my time.
Right.
Um, Other things I might do just depends. Sometimes I like to do massages because that helps, like deep tissue massages. Sometimes it'll help with me releasing whatever I might not be aware of in terms of just other tools that help me to release energetically things that I might be aware of. I also something else I'm including recently is like Reiki, which I had a session with a friend of mine and it was powerful. And so I was like, okay, I'm adding this to my tool bag. Um,
Oh.
Sometimes I'll do, of course, the saging, but saging or crystals and things of that nature, I'll keep with me, around me. Um, I'll also do things where after session, sometimes I'll just go outside and I'll just plant my foot and my feet into the ground, and just allow myself to connect with the earth in that way and ground, and any energies that I feel that don't belong to me, I'll release those and give those to the earth for transmuting it. Um, it just really depends on whatever at that moment I feel I need to do, whatever spirit directs me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, there's no one particular thing that I do that, but it's a combination of different tools within my bag to help me stay protected.
Absolutely. But I appreciate those tools that you do utilize because they could be utilized in different forms, just for people who probably don't endeavor in the same work that you do, but still need to release some type of energy or try to, clear some things, make sure you set your boundaries, make sure that you ground, tapping into Reiki is good. Get your deep tissue massage, just period, just for self maintenance within itself, period. So I do appreciate the utilization of those for sure. It's just really interesting because I know um, that you come in contact with a lot of people and things of that nature, and you meet a lot of things. So, um, is it recommended to drink like plenty of water prior to, or like to keep yourself hydrated so you could be fluid to receive, or anything like that? Is that
Um, I, I wouldn't say anything normal than what you would normally do.
okay?
And more specifically because um, at the beginning of every session, I always tell my clients, I know you probably just went to the bathroom a second ago, but just try it. Just try
Hmm.
it. Because, um, excuse me. Um, of course, the tool that I use is hypnosis. And a lot of times that can be disrupted if you have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
It will knock you out in terms of say knock you out, but it can bring you out of hypnosis when you are like, I gotta pee. Um, so I like to make sure that they're they're clear with that. But sometimes clients will in the middle of a session, especially after we've done a lot of release work, we'll have to
Mhm.
use it, and we'll pause for a second, let them use the restroom, and come back and finish. But yeah, I don't encourage you to be over drinking more than you normally would. Just
Okay.
what you normally would, and that's fine.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because it's just interesting. I just wanted to know, like, how does the elements have anything to play with, when you do a session? Because I know some people are really in touch with, various elements, or if they were to, from an astrological standpoint of view, they want to tap more into that element prior to coming into like a past life regression, I guess, to be able to channel more or to be more in alignment with what they are getting ready to receive. So um, that was the main reason why I was asking that question. Um, so, suppressed and like repressed emotions that a person may go through and may experience. And I know through like your sessions that they have the ability to go through why they may have this, repressed trauma or repressed triggers. Now, could something be connected from one person that when they go through their session, it could family fairly well help another family member? Probably help a mom or help a sister, because I know I've seen one session to where it was a young lady. She knew she had to come back to help her mom, and her visualization during her session, she felt as if she was in a womb and she was getting ready to, I guess, be birthed by her mom. But she knew that she had to help her mom, although she didn't want to come back. So that's why I was asking, like, can your session help others in your family?
Um, are you talking about ancestral healing, or
Yes, ma'am.
is that what you're referring to?
Uh-huh.
Generational healing.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it can, but most of the work that we do under the sessions are directly related to that my client, individual, whatever issues that they're going through. If it's a situation, if it's something from something that is affecting the generations, and yeah, of course, they can be that person, or they are that person who's breaking the cycle for that generation.
Okay.
So if that's what you're asking.
Yes. Yep. Like cycle, breaking cycles, generational trauma. Um, yeah. Sometimes it's some things I know, like, the ancestors would put on me, like, hey, make sure you do this, or, do that, and things of that nature, in order to have that, that healing, incorporated, like, through you. Like, maybe if the message was delivered to another member of the family, it wouldn't get through or be channeled as it need to be if it wasn't for me. So, like, it feels like I need to be obedient to that mission in order to do what's deemed necessary. So that's why I was just asking from that perspective, like how that can help other members of the family, but through like generational clearing of certain traumas and things of that nature. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Each
Um,
person though has to do their own work.
okay.
So you know, uh, yeah, it helps those who are you know deceased and living, as far as ancestors, deceased ancestors, in a particular way, but it also helps those who are still living with ancestors in a particular way, but in a different aspect. But yeah, to answer the question, for sure, yeah, it can assist them. Every person still has to do their own work. My clients can't do the work for themselves and every member in their family. Like everybody has to do their own
That's very important, because I know a lot of people feel like they're carrying the burden of like their family, or they're carrying, the brink of what they need to do for their family. But that, I'm glad that you brought that up. Like, the work has to be done for self. It can't be done for you and others. It's just honing in on self and getting yourself together.
work. Right.
That's awesome. Prior to us closing out, are there any, last things that you would like to leave, and as inspiration or encouragement, or anything that you do that you want to provide or deliver?
Um, Not necessarily. Um,
Okay.
I would just say, just make sure that you're always, like you talked about, that you're doing your own particular work.
Hmm.
Um, one thing that has proven to be monumental for me is knowing, and even my clients, is knowing that just keep in mind that when you're dealing with people, whether it be situations that might have been traumatic, or from whatever, from childhood, from adulthood, whatever situation that you're going through, so remember that when people are dealing with you, they're dealing with you from their own personal hurts and pains and traumas. That how they deal with you has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with them and what they're going through. It's kind of like you hear people talk about hurt people, hurt people. It's the same thing. You're dealing with people. Remember that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and what they're going through. And sometimes that helps you gain some compassion for people and what they're going through, and then help you be able to relate to or maybe deal with them in a different way, from a different perspective. Um, so yeah, I would leave that with you.
Wow, that's powerful. I appreciate that. I appreciate the positive and high vibrating frequencies that you're putting out in these times. I appreciate your work and your diligence to everything that you do. Thank you so much. You are a true gem, and just keep going. Thank you, and I'm honored for you being here with me today. Everyone, thank you so much for being here during this session with us. If you would like to book a session, please book one, because all of her information is down in the description box below. She also has her own YouTube channel, so please check it out. And the name of the YouTube channel is Neoshi Hypno, correct?
That's correct. And let me say this really quick, because I'll have people, I always have people me asking me this. Um, for those who are looking to book a session, if you go to my website, um, the dates that you see there are the earliest dates I have available. And I say that because I don't have anything soon available in July right now, booked up until July. So if you go there and you see July, August, that's the whatever. That's the earliest dates that's available. So you don't have to email me or DM me asking me if I have anything sooner. I ain't got nothing sooner. That's where we at right now.
Indeed. And during that time, and say that your session is in July or August, during this time, understand more about what a past life regression is, or what your spirit guides, or whatever it is. Just spend more time with that and understand what that is even more, so you can be even more prepared, in conjunction with all the information that she is going to send you. So it's not, because it may be a completely different experience that you may embark on, but I don't want it to be to where you're in shock. You know what I mean? Just get yourself in alignment for the session that is coming up in a time frame that she has available. But once again, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Thank everybody that is out there who has tuned in and joined and made comments. I truly appreciate you guys. There'll be another Catalyst conversation coming up tomorrow, and it'll be with a fine gentleman. His name is Chris, and he will be talking about how to keep your composure and keep the peace in the midst of an argument. So thank you again, Miss Neoshi. Thank you guys, and you all have a wonderful evening. Peace.
Thank you for having me.